right, so until I guess Pete calls back, let's just go down the card real quick of UFC 103.
103.
And we'll do the results. Just waiting for Pete.
That's fine. Just get the results out there for you at 103.
Okay, so let's go, I guess, from what? Lowest to main event level?
Just do it any way you want. No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
just do the main cards that were on the card. There were so many good fights. There was a lot of prelim fights that they didn't even show that were amazing. If you got a chance to catch them online or catch them on the UFC Vault, it's just some amazing fights. But we're just going to talk about the few that made it to the show.
So you have Koscheck.
Yeah, Koscheck versus Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg. Now, that was kind of disappointing because I thought Frank Trigg was going to be able to.
And I told you that from right when we sat down at the table, I said Frank Trigg, when they started showing his highlight reel, I knew the guy was an amazing fighter. He's been through a lot in his career. He's fought the best in his career. And he's been all around the world. So I didn't want to take anything away from him, but I just knew Koscheck is hungry. He's a lot stronger now than Frank Trigg is. And I knew he was going to take this fight. I was happy to see Koscheck win this, and I hope Koscheck moves up in the ranks.
I thought, did you think that it was stopped a little too early?
I kind of saw that, but Frank Trigg was still in no position to get out of that. I mean, he was on all fours, basically. By the time he turns around, he was going to eat another punch right to the face. I mean, it was just a bad position for him anyways. The ref wasn't right.
Paul Daly defeats Martin Kampmann.
That was a shock for me, man. I know about Paul Daly, and I know how explosive that kid is and how good he is, but I was expecting more from Kampmann. I thought from this last fight that he didn't really show too much. And I've seen a lot of his fights where he's just come out explosive. And in this fight, he was kind of timid, and he just got ate up, man. He couldn't hang with Daly, and it was a big shocker for me.
Speaking about shockers, this one, Junior Dos Santos defeats Croca.
This was a good fight coming into it. I never thought this was a bad matchup from the beginning. I thought this was really good. I thought that Crow Cop would have won. I picked him to win.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, a lot of people did. There was a big fan favorite for him in the restaurant that we were at. Everyone was cheering his name.
Right.
Just because when he first started in UFC, he had no experience in the octagon. I've been telling everybody that's a big difference between UFC and Pride and all the other organizations, that the cage has an advantage for a lot of fighters to sneak their way into victory. And the problem is, there's nowhere to hide. And if you're a good striker, you can catch someone and you can take advantage of him. And what the problem is with Crow Cop, he needs to set up. He's more of a counter puncher and a more counter kicker, and he needs to set up. He needs that rope to make it look like he's trapped somewhere and set up kicks and punches. And he came in there really unprepared. He looked like he trained well, but he didn't have enough for Dos Santos. And
the main event, which was Vitor Belfort.
Right.
He defeats
Franklin.
Rich Franklin.
Easy win. That was very obvious for the hardcore MMA fans. Nothing to take away. I'm not taking anything away from Rich Franklin. Rich Franklin is an amazing fighter, but he went up on weight to fight Belfort when he went down to 85 because he couldn't hang in 195 anymore because he couldn't beat the champion there. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, he just knew he couldn't take it, and he went down. But for him to fight Belfort, I thought was just a big mismatch. I knew it was one-sided coming into that, and it's pretty much a set-up fight for Silva.
Now, yeah, which is I can't wait for that.
That's going to be an explosive fight there. I think Belfort can win that.
That's going to be the match of possibly the.
I think Belfort can win that.
Of the new year.
Belfort is very patient. He knows how to strike, and when he strikes straight. He doesn't throw hooks and wild punches. He goes straight for the chin, and he puts a lot of power behind him.
Anderson better watch out.
Anderson's going to play around with him a little bit. He's going to do his tricks, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked down.
Now, let me ask you this. Rich Franklin.
Right.
You knew he was knocked out.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, he was out.
So what knocked him out?
It was a jab.
Was it the jab that knocked him out?
First jab got him buckled.
Okay.
And then there was that little, mini uppercut that hit him square in the jaw.
Okay. That's when he went down.
He went down.
Now, he was on his knees.
Yeah.
Face down towards the mat.
Yeah.
What did Belfort do? He went ahead and hit him in the back of the head.
Well, yeah.
Which Franklin's face smashed into the mat, and I think that was the knockout.
No, it was a second punch, man. The first one, I thought he just got surprised with a jab and it buckled him a little bit.
Now I don't know if Pete's got some problems with his system. I don't know. We're gonna check right now. We'll see. Pete, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
we can
sir.
hear you.
You're live.
All right. Let me give you my perspective. Part Andy Rooney, part Jim Rome. We'll go from A to Z. Okay, let's get to the heart of the matter. MMA. Belfort, you're a legend. Machida just hand the belt over to him. Silva, bow down when you come to town. Good fight, good card, bad advertisement. I blame that on Dana White and his marketing people. Whatever gave him the idea that he can go head-to-head against a legendary promoter like Bob Arum and Money Mayweather. The only thing about Floyd Mayweather is this is the only guy I know who can screw up, get busted, get thrown into strip clubs, went out in pokey jail, but still at the end of the night come out smelling like a rose with his hand raising victory. And in boxing, that's what it's all about. That and ticket sales.
Yeah, but do you think boxing took out MMA that night?
What do you think?
I don't know. We can't find out. The problem is where we were at. There was a lot of conversation about the fight.
But my brother, you're asking Pete's pot. You know, I'm telling you, give my Jim Rome perspective.
Okay.
In my heart and my soul, as a boxing enthusiast and historian, yes, Dana White, you're out of your element. Okay, you're talking about a single guy.
What do you think? What do you think UFC lacked on for that fight? What do you think that they didn't do?
Krokoff and Belfort, fine. In a foreign country like France or England on the same date with the time delay, you could have made it. Head-to-head on the same night with a major pay-per-view draw, such as Floyd Mayweather, and a box office pound-for-pound guy like Juan Manuel Marquez, who's been around the scene, that's going to attract interest. The marketing of what HBO and the promoters of Mayweather and Top Rank, which is Bob Arum, they're the ones that push the element of the boxing in our face. Dana White's people, they don't. They ship us a little bit of commercials, and hey, only the hardcore MMA enthusiasts will chase.
Yeah.
You want to compete? You bring out your prize ponies. You bring out Nogueira and Cotere. That would have gone head to head with Mayweather. I'm not knocking Belfort by a long shot. The guy's a legend and a true to life shit beater.
Yeah,
okay?
I just said that earlier. I was saying that Belfort should have deserved more attention.
No. Vitor Belfort is from the old school. Ultimate Japan. This guy used to play in the tournaments and would smack Severn and Shamrocks around. I could be wrong. I doubt it. Okay?
Yeah, he fought Randy Couture. He fought them all, man. He fought Tito Ortiz. He fought Vanderlei when he was first there.
Look, my perspective, Machida, Silva, just hand over your titles to Belfort, okay? You do us all a favor. That's my perspective.
That's if Belfort doesn't break his hand again.
Look, injuries happen. This is combat sports, not badminton, not ballet. Injuries happen. Floyd got injured, pulled out, came back, gave us one hell of a show. Yeah, okay.
I agree. I'm upset that I missed the boxing fight. I thought that boxing won the night. I personally think that boxing won the night because where we were at, everyone came in there looking for the Mayweather fight, and they were walking out. Exactly. And the place that we went to usually is packed, and people are sitting on each other's laps, and that place was dead.
You know what? It's not the customer's fault or the enthusiast. It's Dana White's ego idea that I can dominate over the boxing and wrestling world. Yes, you can take over the wrestling world because, let's face it, wrestling has become a three-ring circus, which we all know as Raw. But when you're coming into boxing world, you're stepping on people like Gary Shaw, you're stepping on people like Goose and Tudor, you're stepping on people like Don King, Oscar De La Hoya Promotions, and the two major cable companies. We're
trying to find out who won it because
please don't even include Don King in that category, please.
We're trying to find out who really won the pay-per-view because I was a little worried about what was going on in boxing because those guys were opening their mouth.
I'll give you a clue. In my mind, it's all about Floyd, money, Mayweather.
I mean, that's all good, but boxing, they really hurt themselves coming into that pay-per-view talking about how it was a homosexual sport, how it was a white skinhead thing, and how they were pushing and even at the end of the fight, even at the end of the Mayweather fight, there was a problem with that one guy. I cannot remember his name who did the interview with Mayweather. That guy, after an amazing 12-round fight, even though it was one-sided, they still went 12 rounds. People still got their money's worth. They still got to see 12 rounds. That guy put that pressure on Mayweather. I was very upset that they did that to Mayweather because the sport right now is competing against a juggernaut right now, and they don't need that kind of controversy in the ring. I didn't mind the Mosley Mayweather thing. I thought that was pretty cool because